Cześć, witajcie. Dzisiaj pierwsza część wywiadu z Gacy'm. Także zapraszam, dziękuję wszystkim, którzy wzięli udział w głosowaniu na to, kto następny do golenia. Wygrał właśnie Gacy. Gacy jest takim typowym Januszem biznesu. Wyznawał zasadę w życiu, że jak złapią mnie za rękę, to powiem, że to nie moja ręka. Ja bym go bardziej z Tedem Bundym porównała. On mi bardziej właśnie Teda Bundy'ego przypomina, bo był takim cwaniaczkiem. Uważał, że ujdzie mu na sucho to, co zrobił, że wymiga się od odpowiedzialności. Właśnie ten wywiad jest taką próbą uniewinnienia, próbą zrzucenia winy na kogoś innego za to, co się stało. Dziadkowie Gacy'ego byli Polakami. Właśnie tu Wam na dole napiszę, jak to nazwisko brzmiało. Są dwie wersje. Tu w pierwszej części Gacy powie, co między innymi myśli o Jeffrey'u Dahmerze. Opowie także o swoim dzieciństwie, także zapraszam.
My question would be to you right off the bat is why, after so many years of silence, never having a media interview, and people have said that you have given them interviews in your
Well, that's hogwash.
Yeah.
That's strictly hogwash.
So we're saying
I'm constantly told that I'm misquoted constantly, saying that I said this and I said that, and it's not happened.
So it's pretty well established on this. This is the first time you're speaking publicly about your case.
Right.
Yeah.
I've always felt that my attorneys were handling it, and they said to keep a low profile and stay away from it. And in light of all that has been used against me in the media, they've created this fantasy monster image, and it's been going on for the last 12 years. And I've ever had no comment, and I had no need to talk to the media for the simple reason that they were looking for sensationalism and they were looking for the monster.
When you say fantasy monster image, what are you referring to by that?
Well, the idea that I'm a homosexual thrill killer and all that garbage, and they painted this image of me that like I strolled down the streets and stalked young boys and slaughtered them. Hell, if you could see my schedule, my work schedule, you know damn well that I was never out there.
Well, you were indicted, convicted, and sentenced on 33 counts of homicide. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Let's fix that.
Yeah, I was going to ask you, insofar as sound goes, if I'm down with my head, does that hurt your sound quality?
No, it's okay. Just try not to move around too much. Please. If you break into song, give him a cue.
I ain't going to break into any song. We'll go into the lead-in as you know, you were at 1978.
Yeah.
You were present.
Yeah. Okay, but that's the way I'd like to start, and I'd like to kind of go
what do you
through
got there? Let's see your list.
Well, I just like to go through the generalities, maybe talk about the background of the thing, the original case.
Bleeping of the language, I will watch the language.
Yeah, I was going to try. John does tend to slip into...
Well, I call it as I see it. Some people can't understand that. All right, so whenever the hell they're ready. I'm not the monster image that's been portrayed of me. And the only way you can make a monster image is to make it look like I stalked the streets and picked up altar boys off the street. You know, they want to make them look like innocent babes in the woods, and I was swatting them like flies. My encounters were always by happen chance. If you pull up at a stoplight and there's somebody standing there waiting for a bus, if you give them a ride, and if you ask them whether, you know, do you get in anything or you want drugs or something like that, that's how it happened. Always happen chance encounter. What do I think of Jeffrey Dahmer? I don't know the man personally, but I'll tell you this. That's a good example as to why insanity doesn't belong in a courtroom. Because if Jeffrey Dahmer doesn't meet the requirements for insanity, then I'd hate like hell to run into the guy that does.
Do you feel
Beyond that, I have no comment on Jeffrey Dahmer because I'm not Jeffrey Dahmer. And I would not, whether it's Berkowitz, whether it's Bundy, whether it's Williams, Wayne Williams down in Atlanta, or any of the others, or Charlie Manson. See, I don't comment about other cases for the simple fact is that I wasn't there.
Do you feel somewhat of a kinship with some of these people?
God, I hate that when they put me in the same club with them.
A number of, 3 or 4 psychiatrists interviewed
I had 13 of them. There was 6 for the defense and 7 for the state.
Yeah, what was the
state
position
doctor,
of the defense psychiatrists? What did they feel your problem was? What did they come up with from the standpoint of...
what the hell is it? God, I can't remember offhand. Borderline personality, antisocial behavior. I don't see how anybody can be antisocial when you were involved with the public as much as I was.
How about the multiple personality issue?
Oh, the multiple personality came out of Dr. Reifman and Hartman. These two clowns from the Cook County there. They came to see me the first time. I said, "Do you want to talk to John Wayne Gacy, the politician, the clown, the family man, or the businessman?" The next day, I see it in the newspaper. Gacy has 4 personalities.
The media has called you a homosexual killer. What is your position on homosexuality?
I have nothing against it. I'm an outspoken liberal. I don't care for the labeling. I don't care for any labeling for that fact.
Do you claim homosexuality?
No, I would definitely not be homosexual. I have nothing against what they do, and I don't deny that I've engaged in sex with males, but that I'm bisexual.
You're bisexual?
Right. My preference is women, and I've been married enough times and have children, and I see nothing wrong with it.
How about your dad, John? You had mentioned that you could never really please him, that he had talked of you.
And I did not hate I didn't hate my dad either.
But you did have a hard upbringing with him, did you not?
My dad came from the old country, limited education, but he was a good provider and with strong will and strong views. He was also an alcoholic, sorry to say.
Was he abusive? Did he strike out at you?
When he drank, he was almost like a different person. My dad struck all of his children all the time. Yeah. My dad had conservative values. If you're out after midnight, you're up to no good. My dad did not believe it. If you're out after dark and you didn't leave a phone number, you were up to no good. So I think that's why I tended to go that way more, just to be the opposite of him. My dad was domineering in the fact he had a different set of values, but also very stern individual. My dad drank a lot. When he drank a lot, yeah, he was abusive to my mother and to me. But I never swung at my dad because I loved him for what he stood for.
John, let's step back to your childhood. What was your state of health as a child?
At the age of 10, I was told I had a enlarged bottleneck heart. Okay, and so I had a tendency to pass out a lot.
How about childhood illnesses? Did you have accidents, rather? Any sort of
I was
injuries or accidents?
When I went to the other vocational school, when I first went to the vocational school, I got hit with a park swing in the side of the head, caused a mastocyte.
At what age was that? Approximately
14, I believe.
Got hit with a swing? Were you unconscious?
Yeah, I was taken to a medical clinic. That was at the time. That's when I started seeing that I had epilepsy.
Did you have any episodes of
seizures?
Seizures.
Yes, seizures were. According to the doctor, they claimed that when I have an epileptic seizure, I had 800 times my own strength, or 800 pounds of strength.
Had you ever been sexually abused by anybody?
At the age of 9, there was a contractor.
Building contractor?
Building a house next door, and he used to pick me up and take me for rides, and always wanted to show me wrestling holds with always putting my head in between his legs. But at the time, I did not look at it as sexual. He was showing me wrestling holds where my head was always constantly pinned between his legs or under his legs. I was 19 when I ran away, and that was in 61. I went to Las Vegas for 3 months. Took my car and left.
Yeah.
I worked for Powell Mortuary, being the night man picking up bodies at the hospitals and stuff for them. I worked as a night man only. I did have nothing to do with the bodies. All this talk that I slept with the dead ones or had sex with dead bodies, there is no truth to any of that.
You did live in the mortuary.
I lived in the mortuary, yes, but not in the embalming room. I mean, they make it sound like, I slept in the crypts with them. And I never climbed into a coffin or anything like that. That is so damn ridiculous. It's the same thing. The contention is that I slept all night with Robert Peace. If you want to say I slept in the same house with a dead body, okay, fine, I'll buy that. But in the same room, no. And besides, the dead won't bother you. It's the living you got to worry about.
W opisie macie linki do 3 fajnych dokumentów. Jeden z nich to 3-odcinkowy serial Taśmy, tak zwane Taśmy Gacy'ego i dwie kwestie. Pierwsza to tam w jednym dokumencie ktoś przetłumaczył, że Gacy sobie wymyślił, że ma butelkowe serce. Otóż jest rzeczywiście taka jednostka chorobowa, zapalenie osierdzia i tam serce rzeczywiście przypomina kształt butelki, także najprawdopodobniej on rzeczywiście chorował na takie schorzenie, a nie sobie wymyślił. Druga kwestia to niefortunnie zostały połączone dwie kwestie. Otóż, że Gacy urządzał party przyjęcia u siebie w ogrodzie i tam bawił ludzi, przebierając się za klauna. No otóż on rzeczywiście organizował te party, on tam bawił swoich gości, on był w roli gospodarza, on gotował, bo za pierwszym razem jak był w więzieniu, to był właśnie kucharzem. Dlatego rzeczywiście te przyjęcia były, natomiast on przebierał się za klauna w weekendy, jeździł do szpitali, żeby właśnie w charakterze wolontariusza, żeby zabawiać dzieci, żeby rozweselać dzieci. No jeśli chodzi o dzieciństwo Gacy'ego, to tutaj są zbieżności z Richardem Ramirezem. Otóż Ramirez również uległ wypadkowi, został uderzony huśtawką w głowę również. Natomiast jeszcze miał jeden Ramirez wypadek upadku w bardzo młodym wieku, to dzieciątkiem był, również uderzył się w głowę, również po tych urazach miał padaczki, miał ataki padaczki. To przeszło również samoistnie i badania pokazują, że jednym ze skutków ubocznych tego typu padaczek może być nadmierna agresja. I również ojcowie. Ojciec Ramireza, no, podobny do ojca Gacy'ego, ponieważ również agresywny i stosujący przemoc. Natomiast co ciekawe, to ojciec Ramireza nigdy przenigdy nie zastosował wobec Richarda przemocy fizycznej. Wobec jego braci starszych tak, natomiast wobec niego nie. No ale miał taki porywczy, bardzo porywczy charakter, i Richard uciekał przed nim. No, ulubionym słowem Gacy'ego z wywiadu jest słowo garbage, śmieć. On to używa w odniesieniu do ludzi. On za śmieci miał swoje ofiary, również jakby mówi, że no, media mnie pokazują jako potwora, a ja nie jestem tego rodzaju śmieciem. Myślę, że jest to związane z tym, jak był traktowany w dzieciństwie, jak jego ojciec poniżał go. Gacy był tego typu osobą, którą każdy w mieście zna. Był bardzo obrotny, towarzyski, miał dużo kontaktów, również właśnie z takimi osobami decyzyjnymi w mieście. I właśnie sąsiedzi wspominają, że był dobrym sąsiadem, bo czegoś potrzebowali, to Gacy przyszedł, naprawił, załatwił. Dlatego no, wystarczy naprawdę przejrzeć jego życiorys, jego działalność, jak on się angażował w różne działania społeczne, w organizacje społeczne, w organizacje obywatelskie, żeby wiedzieć, że Gacy no, nie był aspołeczny. Jest to wręcz moim zdaniem no, dość śmieszne, że taka diagnoza padła. Co do orientacji, no to wiadomo, że tutaj Gacy kłamie. Zresztą to nawet jego druga była żona potwierdza, że kobiety nie było jego główną preferencją i po prostu Gacy doskonale wiedział, że ludzie sądzą, oceniają po pozorach i te żony to niby na pozór szczęśliwe życie rodzinne, te dzieci, no to była tylko taka maska dla ludzi, żeby myśleli, że jest normalnym ojcem rodziny. Dziękuję Wam bardzo, zapraszam na kolejne części. Gacy będzie opowiadał o właśnie swojej firmie remontowej, a także przedstawi swoją własną teorię na temat tego, jak to się wszystko wydarzyło, jaki jego był rzeczywisty udział w tym, co się stało oraz kto tak naprawdę stoi za tymi okropnymi zbrodniami.